Hey guys, how's it going? It's Blaze back with some more One Piece TCG content for y'all. I haven't done any market update content since the OP14 kind of pre-release period hit for real and people started actually, getting product, putting stuff up on the market. We started seeing actual sales. So figured I'd jump back into some more market content and look at how things have been affected by the release of the most recent set, that being OP14. You can watch my OP14 double box unboxing video, see what I got, see kind of what the hit rates are looking like. As always, reminder that you can win this Gear 5 Alt Art Luffy by liking this video, commenting below, and subscribing to my channel. Kind of crazy that I decided to do this card for the giveaway back in December. Winner will be announced January 25th, by the way. And this card was about 80, 90 bucks when I announced the giveaway. Over $200 now. Absolutely insane growth that we're seeing on some of these OP05 cards now, specifically. All right, let's jump into looking at the market. So right off the bat, case of OP14 going for like 3,000 off rip, which is absolutely insane. I mean, even when they were coming out at the beginning of pre-sale, going for like 2K, I thought that was a lot. This is pretty insane. 3K for a case on pre-release. And then if we go to sealed product, so double pack displays going for 300. I have yet to see any OP14 double packs actually hitting the market yet so far. So we'll see if this really like holds up or what the story is with that. But the booster boxes themselves, I mean, continuing to rise, even though technically we haven't even hit release date yet. These were, around 220. And then they were around 250. Now they're up to 275 per box. We had a little drop back down to 220 once people, started getting their boxes on pre-release around January 7th. The really, really early people who were getting early product and just trying to sell as soon as possible. But yeah, I mean, starting off around like 180, 190, this is still significantly above MSRP, right? All the way up to 248, drop back down to 230, and now we're seeing sales, consistently seeing multiple sales at 275, 275, 269 here. I mean, yeah, people seem to really expect this set to do well in the long term for sealed, it seems like. And so we're seeing a lot of confidence in buying them out. I mean, this is, $12 a pack. This is kind of for loose packs. These aren't even sleeves. Also, don't ever buy loose packs that aren't sleeved. They're almost entirely going to be from boxes that have already had the hits taken out of them. Me personally, if you go and watch my unboxing video, I open all of my packs, even if they are supposed to be dead packs. I open all of them. I don't like having dead packs sitting around. I definitely will never be reselling dead packs, and I will always tell people, you go to card shows, you buy on the internet, you never, ever, ever buy unsleeved single One Piece packs. If you buy them from LGSs, you want to see them coming out of boxes, and I think it's fair to go ahead and ask that store if they know if the box is dead. Chances are they probably won't tell you unless you're close with that store, or they'll be honest with you, but you still at least have the right to ask. And with the way that boxes are so mappable in this game, I think it's a reasonable thing to ask. Let's jump right into the really high cost stuff. Mihawk manga off rip going for 1,700. So what'll be interesting about this set is to see if this is a price that comes down, or if, because mangas are so highly valued now, this is something that just continues to rise over time. Usually pre-sale prices are like the peak, and prices just kind of go down after the fact until like OP13 really changed that. So now that we are seeing just this massive constant growth for manga cards, it'll be really interesting to see if the worth of stuff like this Manga Mihawk kind of has the normal pre-sale pattern, or if it actually goes up. Right now, it's looking like it's gone down a little bit. We see sales going from about 1,600, 15 to 1,600. A lot of sales today. People are definitely buying into this card pretty hard. I think this is probably a pretty good one. I mean, Mihawk is a fairly iconic character for early One Piece. I'm not sure how well this will hold up over time, though. I mean, it's not, it's not a Straw Hat. It's not Shanks. It's not even, I wouldn't say as important or iconic of a character as even something like Blackbeard or Buggy. This seems maybe too high to me for a card like this. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. The Buggy SP, however, the gold Buggy, this I think is a really interesting card. For 1K, I like this at 1K. I think this is a pretty solid bet here. This card is pretty gorgeous. And Buggy is, he's one of the 4 emperors now. Spoiler alert for, stuff that happened in the past 10 years in One Piece, I guess. But, this is going to be a character that's going to be instrumental in the ending arcs of the series. Not maybe in the most direct way ever, but I think this, sort of on par with somebody like Mihawk, right? But maybe even a little more of a fan favorite. 2K, I would not buy this at 2K, but at 1K, I actually kind of like this. Boa SP, going for $8.49. This seems high to me. I don't like this Boa SP as much as the previous Boa SPs, either of them. Not a big fan of this red background. It's nice. It is nice, don't get me wrong. But the kind of lantern with these sort of almost Indian inspired, almost rug pattern looking kind of vibes in the background, it doesn't strike me as, to me, I look at the previous SPs and I think the full, face card Boa, obviously that's a really iconic one. That's one that we've seen be very, very popular over the last few months. And I also think the blue OP09 heart shapes one with all the hearts as the background, representing her actual power, is also really iconic. This is more of this kind of general Kuja Pirates type of vibe here. It's okay. I don't think it should be priced higher than the other 2 SPs. I think this is definitely some recency bias we're seeing here, and I would expect this to come down at least somewhat in the next couple weeks to months. As more of this product gets opened, I struggle to see this staying up at $8.50. I think this should at least come down to being kind of in line with the other ones. And we've only seen one sale around this price. Lots of people trying to sell really, really high because it's pre-sale. I would not go for that. I think that is a bad investment, personally. I suspect you'll lose value on that. Next one up is the PRB Zoro with Sanji in the background here. This is a really nice SP of the non-textured background, or not, I guess not textured background, but I don't know how to describe it. I've heard people call them the kaleidoscope backgrounds, but the ones the Boa, the other SPs in the set, which personally are my favorite types of SPs. But as far as the full art style SPs go, This is definitely one of the nicer ones I've ever seen, having seen this in person, having seen some people who pulled the card. That being said, 600 for lightly played, 900 for near mint. I mean, this feels pretty crazy. 700 even is like pushing it. I could see this being like 600 near mint though, because it has both Zoro and Sanji within the art. But pre-sale here for this, I kind of feel like we're going to see sealed continue to rise. I think we're going to see a little dip on the actual singles for pre-sale, personally. And I could be totally wrong. Again, do your own research, make your own decisions. Definitely not trying to tell you what to do with your money. But personally, for me, for getting singles from this set, I'm waiting to see the post pre-sale dip. I suspect we'll see a dip and then it will continue to go back up again. But around in about a week or so, maybe a little less than that, we're going to start seeing these prices drop because it won't be pre-sale prices anymore. And I think that's when you swoop in and start, buying, which will then again, because everyone's going to do that. Everybody who's ever been through a release cycle for One Piece already knows that this is how this works, or really for any TCG. So everyone's going to do that, and that's going to cause the prices to go back up again. It could happen so rapidly that we don't even see a dip, but in which case it is better to buy now. But I mean, I would be surprised. Oh, hey, look, it's Tournament City. Shout out Tournament City. That's literally down the street from me. Not trying to dox myself, but whatever. I live in the same city. But yeah, so going for about 380. That's hilarious. Y'all really knocked 1 cent off the next listing. Wow. 380.44. I feel like this... I feel like people are kind of waiting to see where this SP ends up. Having seen this in person, I'll be honest, I don't think it's one of the best looking SPs. I think it looks okay. I'd put it about on the same level as the Yamato from OP14. I actually think the Yamato is a little better than this. I'm iffy on this one. I would expect this to settle at 200, maybe 250 if we're kind of going off the Yamato. I think Yamato is actually kind of a more generally well-liked character than Mihawk is. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe that's personal bias, but I think the Yamato is generally should actually probably be higher than this. So I would expect this to fall pretty rapidly. The You'll Frighten Me manga event or event alt art, this card is absolutely gorgeous in person. Every single pre-release I've been to, the person sitting directly next to me pulls this card, which is absolutely infuriating. But this is one that I'm probably gonna buy this when I get the chance. It's selling at 410, 350. As soon as I see this dip at all, I'm gonna go for this one. This is one of the few cards from this set that I actually think is an almost surefire investment, and I expect that it'll dip for a little bit and then start climbing really hard again, because it's Boa and it's a gold outline, really beautiful textured manga panel of Boa putting on her little cute face, and obviously this is gonna be this is just gonna age like fine wine. Everyone's gonna want this card. This is probably, to me, I feel probably the safest bet of anything you can put your money on in this set. At current rates, I suspect 400 is gonna be, it's gonna end up being worth more, especially if it gets graded well. This card's gonna do great. The Perona SP, I also think this is a pretty safe bet. I think this one looks a lot better than a lot of the other SPs. The background feels really lively. The color palette really matches the character design quite well here. It's Perona. You know, she's really got her base. People who like Perona really like Perona. She's not Boa, but you know, she's got the whole goth girl bag going. So, you know, that niche is always going to be around, and it's very popular these days. A lot of people grew up really liking this character, right? So 300, maybe a little high. I would say this feels to me like a pretty safe buy at anything below like 250. If this dips to like 250, 260 even, I would probably swoop in and snap it up. Even at 300, this might not be bad. The only thing about it is it's not that playable anymore, so I don't think you're getting like the big boost of playability that like this Boa up here. This thing is super playable. This is like one of the top meta cards, so I suspect that part of the reason the price is so high on it is like it's got the waifu effect, it's got the SP effect, it's got the presale recency bias, and it's got the fact that this is like pretty much the main engine, late game engine card of the deck that's going to be the top meta pick for this whole set, right? So, you know, that's a lot of things in favor for it. The Perona doesn't really have that going for it, but speaking of another one that does have that going for it, this alt art leader, this has to drop. This is way too much. I mean, even a leader like Emu that started off really high, didn't start anywhere near this high, and dropped down to, I think you can get the Emu leader for what, like he's going for $60 now, $65. So this will be, I would expect this to settle around like maybe 100. I would not buy this at 250, 260. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe it will just blast up because it's a Boa card and everybody in the universe wants Boa cards right now. But yeah, I would wait on that one. Eustace Kid, I don't know about this one, guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think this is probably not it. I think Eustace Kid, not a character I'd be putting my money on. I know he's got fans out there, but yeah. Sugar, kind of the same deal. I mean, I think Sugar is a deck that's starting to see some competitive viability, but it's not really a character that, you know, there's a lot of love for. I don't think you're going to see this. There's like one sale on it at this price. This is one that I would expect to start seeing, you know, dip pretty hard, pretty fast. Kid and Killer, however, is a staple red card that's been around for a really long time. It's from an EB set, so there's some inherent like short printedness to it, this being an SP of an EB printing. And this is one of these cards that's kind of always gonna be good. Like, I think the scaling on it was good for when it came out, and within red it's still like pretty much a staple, even, you know, almost 2 years later, despite power creep. Now red, you know, might be not in the best place it's ever been, but as soon as red decks are good again, you know, top level meta players who are trying to alt their decks out, I would be shocked if Kid and Killer isn't a consideration in the price of those decks, right? And so people who are really trying to get blingy are going to be buying those SPs up. Another one that has a lot of meta relevance is the Ground Death alternate art. This is one that you're going to see a lot of Emu players buying up. At this price, you know, you won't catch me running these, but I would say, you know, maybe this drops to like 150, 120. I don't see it going under 100 just because, you know, there's going to be a lot of demand from it for players. Now, will the collector demand and the player demand kind of overlap and keep driving it up? That's entirely possible. This is one of the sets where we're really going to see where the player demand and the collector demand start intersecting, and how those things interact. Now, the normal alt art for the Boa SR, going for 200, this is definitely unsustainable. I think the people buying this at 200 are going to get burned. Again, maybe I'm wrong about these BOA cards costing so much. Maybe they do just go up forever. But I think we're seeing here, again, that collector and player overlap kind of artificially driving these up a little bit. I think, you know, collectors have like BOA, they just see dollar signs in their eyes whenever they see a BOA card. And the fact that she is now the most powerful meta character in the game, it's collectors and resellers love BOA, meta players love BOA. That's something we've never really seen before at this level, so I think we are seeing a lot of kind of inflation on that. I still think this manga event, I still think this is so good. Despite that, even when this falls off in meta relevance, when the leader and the alt arts start falling off in meta relevance, they're gonna go down a lot more drastically than I think this You'll Frighten Me event is, because that card is absolutely gorgeous in person. Definitely one of the nicest looking manga events we've ever seen. This law leader, I mean, this is obviously really overpriced. It was high selling at 190, selling at 120. This is a leader that'll be under $100. Do not buy this for over $100. Now this Nami, the OP14 Nami, this is a really strong meta card. I think it will come down. You're starting to see it come down. But again, really strong meta, really strong collector. It's Nami. It's going to be expensive. The Mihawk, I see this also settling under 100. I suspect we'll see it starting to go for like 70 to 80 bucks pretty soon. The Del Flamingo, this is already under 100. I suspect, you know, this will probably go down. Yeah, we're already seeing like sales at 85. This will probably be a $60 or $70 leader when the dust settles. The Mr. 2 Bon Clay alt art. I guess Mr. 2, our Bon Clay alt arts are going to be him turning into Nami repeatedly. I guess we saw it last time in the EBO 1-1. It's the same thing here. It's, in my opinion, this is lazy. I don't like this. I think this card's kind of lame. I actually think the art for the regular SR for this card is actually way cooler than this art. I think this art kind of sucks. It's going for 80 bucks because Nami's face is on it, even though it's not a Nami card. This is pretty fake. Wouldn't buy that. Not that many people are going to play Croc. The Mihawk alt art, again, very strong meta. People are kind of up on Mihawk in the collector space because I think the manga Mihawk, like, now everybody knows the character. Like, oh, it got a manga. This guy must be important. 100 bucks seems like too much. I'd expect this to settle, you know, it is an alt secret art, but I'd expect this to settle, you know, 50 bucks max. The Miss All Sunday, aka Nico Robin, alt art from when she was in Baroque Works. This is a card that I suspect will retain value. This is more, it's going to come down, and we're already seeing it come down. But if you can get this for 70 or 80 bucks, I mean, the OG Nico Robin is always going to have a special place in anybody's who's actually, you know, seeing the series, their heart. So we're going to, I think, see that retain a lot of value. The Croc alt art, this is going to come down. The Vivi alt art, this is going to come down. I'd say don't buy any of these above like 50 bucks. Oh, did I skip the treasure rare? I think I skipped the treasure rare, didn't I? Yeah, I did. I skipped over this. So this treasure rare seems like it kind of drops pretty frequently. I've seen a lot of people hitting this, more so than a lot of other treasure rares. Law is only shown on it as a kid. Rosinante isn't a character that a lot of people are super familiar with outside of fans of the series. I would expect that this treasure rare is going to decrease in value significantly. The Law alt art, this is going to keep going down. Rosinante and Law alt art. This is going to keep going down. The Perona alt art here, I think this is actually a pretty safe one. I think this is going to, again, dip. It's down 27%, but it'll probably then go back up. Also, this card is incredibly strong. The effect of it is actually single-handedly was the difference between me getting first in a pre-release and me getting third in a pre-release, was just an opponent playing this card. Basically, this card is a win condition. You can play this card and just win the game. King alt art, Carrot alt art, all this stuff's going to come down. Yellow Perona is going to come down. Now, the Kiku Nojo, I love this card. I suspect this will come down. I don't think we're going to see, probably not a ton of sales. Yeah, see, this is not a card people are hyped on. This is a deeper cut. If you know what's up with Kiku, you know that this is definitely one to have for the collection. The Zoro alt art, you know, I could see this one going either way. Definitely a strong card for red, but red's not really in the best place right now. Now, the Gold Dawn cards are interesting because unlike OP13, we actually get 2 of them due to it being also crossed over with an EB set. So this will be pretty interesting to see where it moves on. I think 50 is a little high, but there's also, where is it? Where's the Egghead one? There's also an Egghead gold. Oh, is it not listed? So that's really interesting. It's like not listed right now. Huh. Weird. Am I just not seeing it? Yeah, I guess it's not listed. Anyway, okay. A lot of the rest of the stuff on this page, this stuff's pretty much all going to come down. One thing that's crazy to see is that this Boa SR, just the normal SR, going for $36. That's incredibly high for any SR in this game in general. We don't really see prices for non-alts get this high, and I think it's continuing to go up, which is actually really pretty shocking to me. This SR feels really short printed. I've seen a lot of people open product. I opened 2 boxes and didn't hit a single one of these. Never saw it at all. I've seen multiple people open boxes and not see it at all. I've seen people open cases and not get a playset of this, right? So this card is ridiculously short printed. They definitely knew what they were doing here. I'm not really a big fan of it. I don't like how Bandai's like playing into this artificial inflation, especially on a card that is so relevant to the meta. Now, Megalo, I think this card's already drastically undervalued. This is definitely a mini pro card. Man, a lot of homies popping up. What's good, mini pro? That's funny. 28.7. This is undervalued. I think as soon as, you know, we see decks that really have the ability to take advantage of this, the effect of this card is so strong that there's no way that this card doesn't become meta relevant at some point with all the support that green has been getting. So I think you buy this low, and I would expect at some point this is going to rise up. If this keeps going down, this is a super, super easy purchase. The Mihawk Secret Rare, this is probably going to keep going down until it gets to about 20, 15 bucks. That's kind of what's normal for secrets. Same deal with Crocodile. People are going to need to buy these for their decks, but that's sort of how it goes. Ground Death, regular rare at 10 bucks. This card also feels kind of short printed in 2 boxes. I've only seen 2 of these, like 1 per box for a regular rare. Feels a little scarce. I started at like 3 bucks and I think has been rising as people have realized how difficult these are to get in hand. And so, yeah, for any emu players, you're gonna need to drop, I guess, like 40 bucks on these ground deaths. I would wait to see if they come down, but yeah, they might not, just because they feel very artificially scarce to me. I think $5 is more like where they should be, though. And then, yeah, we've got, you know, our normal kind of smattering of SRs, big top-end SRs going for a decent amount. down to some rares that are really core to these decks. And you're going to see all of this stuff kind of start to go down over time. Still, yeah, this Egghead Dawn. I really want to see what the gold version of this goes for, because I think this gold Dawn is so nice. But yeah, that's about the gist of it. That's, I think, what OP14 is looking like. These are kind of my predictions on the prices. I could be right, I could be wrong. Not financial advice. Do your own research, make up your own opinion. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you in the next one. Appreciate every one of you. Again, you can win Gear 5 Luffy. If you like, comment, subscribe. My birthday is coming up here soon. I'm going to be announcing it around the same time on January 25th. So appreciate every one of you, and see you next time. Peace.